Okay. Well, what's up, YouTube? It's T-Money. Today we're going to be going over Week 5 in the college football schedule. I didn't do a video last week. I got busy, had work to do, things to do, and yeah. So, I didn't do too well 2 weeks ago. I did predict a lot of upsets, unfortunately. And actually, only a couple of them came true, actually, which surprised the heck out of me. But anyway, we're going to get on to Week 5. We're going to go over the top 25, and then we're going to go over the 3 Iowa schools because that's the state I live in. So the first game that we have going on this weekend, we have Penn State taking on Maryland. It's Friday night, 7 o'clock on FS1. Penn State is only favored by 6.5 points. I think they're going to win more than that. Penn State is really good, but I don't think Maryland's a good school. Don't get me wrong; they got a good football squad this year. I don't think, but they're not going to be ready for Penn State. So I got Penn State in a blowout. And then later that night, Arizona State takes on Cal. Cal is favored by 5 points. It's hard to say how that game is going to go because Arizona State lost to who did they lost last weekend? Yeah, they lost last weekend. I don't remember who they lost to because they were in the top 25 and now they're out. But it's the start. But yeah, we're officially starting conference play except for the one Iowa game we're going to cover. So be aware of that. Yeah, I can't even remember who Arizona State lost to because Arizona State did lose last weekend because I remember seeing the highlights and Arizona State was upset. I cannot remember who they lost to. Colorado. Okay. Yeah, they lost to Colorado in a close game. So, Arizona State losing to Colorado. I don't think they rebound yet. I don't think they rebound. They actually lose to California this weekend. Yeah, it's going to be a close game, though. I got California in a close win. Next we're on to the Saturday slate. We've got Texas Tech taking on Oklahoma. Oklahoma, a 27-point favorite. Now, Texas Tech hasn't done so hot in the past couple of years against Oklahoma. Actually, I'm going to check that real fast. Hold on. So, yeah, I'm looking at the streak now. The last time Texas Tech won was in 2011. 41-38. It was in Norman. And this game is in Norman, Oklahoma. But, yeah, it just hasn't. Last year, it was really close, 51-46. But Oklahoma, has a really strong team this year. Especially with the quarterback that just transferred from Alabama. So, I'm going to go with Oklahoma, but I would not count out Texas Tech in an upset. Don't count that out yet. So, next up, I think this is going to be the game. No, it won't be the game of the week. But we have Wisconsin at home, coming off a fresh win at Northwestern. Okay, so I pulled up Wikipedia, which is a website that I use to compare teams in order to help me make a deciding factor. Last year, Northwestern pulled off the upset against Wisconsin, 31-17. So, I believe Wisconsin's going to rebound. They're going back to Wisconsin to play football in this series. I got Wisconsin in a really... I got Wisconsin in a good game. So, next up, and I totally forgot, Iowa is ranked. I totally forgot about that. They're going up against Middle Tennessee this weekend. It's 11 o'clock start on ESPN2. I'll be able to watch the game. Middle Tennessee doesn't pull off the upset. As much as I want them to, they're not going to be able to. Iowa, look at the way they handled their first two opponents and then barely edging Iowa State. Yes, give me all the crap in the world. Yes, I'm an Iowa State fan. Give me the crap now because I already see the comments. You're an Iowa State fan? Yeah, I would beat you guys. Ha 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 ha. You guys need to cover our 2-point spread in order to start bragging. Let me just put that out. And I know one guy that's going to comment saying, we beat you no matter how many points. Dude, the point is, a 2-point spread is an easy thing to cover. It's actually hold on. It's actually really difficult to cover. If you beat a team by only 1 point, how can you be excited that you guys win that game? Look at that game. Iowa State came out. They didn't come out quickly because they did allow the field goal. But then they had that 49-minute rain delay, designing a play to come back and actually get on the board for the first time in the night. And then they had the 2-hour rain delay and tried the same play again. Iowa did shut it down that time, which was great. Iowa, you did a fantastic job in reading that play. But the first play of the second half, hello, how do you leave that guy wide open with no one between him and the end zone? So there's that, and then you give him the 3 extra points on a field goal. Hello, let's say the 2 players running into each other doesn't happen. Iowa State pulls off probably a miracle drive, kills down, 1 second left, kicks a game-winning field goal. The Cy-Hawk Trophy stays in Ames. You cannot brag about a 1-point win. And to the president of Iowa, first of all, you canceling a game that's this big to the state? Why? Yes, there's going to be smack talk in the crowd. If there was physical abuse, I can completely understand. But if it was just verbal abuse, there's nothing they can do about that. If it's physical abuse, then they set the safety standards. But do not deny Iowa State a chance to play you guys. Because, hello, that is one game the entire state, even fans that aren't even fans of the Iowa State game, sit down and watch that game because it's the Iowa Super Bowl, basically. Like, come on. But anyway, back to the picks. That's my take on that. By the way, they're actually talking about getting rid of the Cy-Hawk football game. And I'm like, okay, hold the phone. Don't get rid of a game that everyone looks forward to every darn year. Because you're just denying a coach of a win against you guys, just for one. And 2, you're also denying a bunch of players a victory. Like, shouldn't say this, but grow up. You're all big boys. You're in college. You can take verbal abuse. Anyway, back to the picks. I do have Iowa winning this game. It won't be close. Next up, we have Rutgers taking on Michigan. Rutgers coming off a loss. No. Yeah, they're coming off a loss against... No, did they win? Yeah, they're coming off a loss against their opponents last weekend. I think it was against Maryland. No, Boston College. They're coming off a loss to Boston College. I'm just gonna flat out say it. They're not beating Michigan. Coach Harbaugh is a really good coach. I respect him. Little short-tempered, I ain't gonna lie. But I do like the way he coaches. And I have Michigan winning big in this game. Next up, to wrap up the 11 o'clock games, Texas A&M takes on Arkansas. Texas A&M favored by 23.5 points. Arkansas coming off a stunning loss to, who was it? San Jose State? I remember that one. Yeah, I remember they lost to San Jose State because I actually did watch the highlights for that. Arkansas makes it close. Texas A&M pulls off the win. I'm just gonna tell you who wins the next two games because it's obviously going to happen. Oh wait, I just looked at the opponent for the second game. Okay, Clemson goes to North Carolina. That ain't gonna be close. Clemson wins. And then next we have Ole Miss and Alabama. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're gonna look at this one. We are going to look at this one. The Ole Miss Rebels and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Okay, we'll say the last 2 years, it has not been close, but there was that one magical year in 2014 where Ole Miss did pull off that up. 2015 where they pulled off that upset. And you know what? I'm going to be gutsy here. I'm going to regret this one. Alabama loses. Ole Miss, yes, they're 2-2. Alabama 4-0. But don't count out an underdog. 37.5 points. Don't count them out in not winning this game. Ole Miss has got something special going. Let me look at their record, their wins so far. Yeah, they got that one win against Arkansas. And their only 2 losses were both a touchdown. So you know this team is going to be primed and ready for a team like Alabama this weekend. I do have Alabama winning though, but Ole Miss, watch out. Watch out for them Rebels, because they're going to be close. Our first top 25 matchup of the week, we've got the Virginia Cavaliers and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The Irish coming off a loss. I think they're coming off a loss. Yeah, coming off a loss against number 3 Georgia, knocking them down to number 10. Can't really say that they weren't going to lose that game, but I did kind of have a feeling that Notre Dame was going to do something magical. I was wrong. I'm not going to be wrong this week. The spread is 12.5 points. I'm going to give Notre Dame the win in a close one. Field goal wins the game. Another top 25 matchup, we have the USC Trojans and then the Washington, is it Huskies? Yeah, Washington Huskies. I always make that joke. I'm not going to say it online because it's really wrong. But all I'm going to say, but it's only a 10, let me just get back to the picks. It's only a 10-point spread, so it's not going to be that, it's going to be a really close game. I'm going to pull USC pulls off the upset. That's because of the fact that USC's has got a really good year going so far, 3-1, and so does Washington. And this is the first second Pac-12 meeting for Washington this year. I think they actually do kind of pull. And there's Mystic Blue Queen right there. She didn't intend to make a visit to the video, but I mean, hey, I'm glad she kind of did.
She's not feeling good because of her allergies.
Yeah, she'll feel better though. Send the love.
Hi.
And then there's Tyler.
Hi.
And again, they crashed my video. Second straight video in a row. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, she's getting tired. I'm gonna try to get through these quickly. So yeah, I've got the Trojans winning this game. It's gonna be close though. So next up, we have Indiana taking on number 25 in Michigan State. My question is, how the hell is this team even ranked? Going to look at their teams that they've played, their loss was to Arizona State. And Arizona State isn't even ranked. Arizona State has a win against a ranked opponent. Confirming, hold on. Yeah, they do have a win against a ranked opponent. And guess who that ranked opponent is? That Sparty here. Michigan State. How are you guys ranked? Is my question. AP poll has been iffy the past couple of years. Like, I've been wondering how the heck is Iowa State not ranked? Hello, yes, they did lose to Iowa. They did barely escape UNI. But look what they did the following week after Iowa. They blew the Louisiana Monroe out of the water. And two top 25 teams, 25 and 24, drop out because of losses. How do you give Michigan State, who had a 31-10 victory, the top 25 over a team who blew the heck out of Louisiana Monroe, 76-20? Hey people, get your together. Anyway, I got Michigan State winning this game. Next up, we have Towson taking on Florida. I don't even know who Towson is. I think this is the weird thing. These matchups that are between FCS and FBS teams, they're all most of them are under contract. So you know how Citadel beat Georgia Tech last weekend? They have a contract that says, get your asses kicked and we'll pay you for it. I found that out a really weird way. Don't ask how, because I don't even remember how. But they did not get their asses kicked. They actually beat Georgia Tech. So they got a little bit of a bonus. That's how the contracts work that's how the matchups work. So Florida obviously is going to beat Towson Tigers. I believe that's what they're called. Next up, we have Mississippi State taking on Auburn. It's a 10.5 point favorite. And Auburn wins. And it's going to be a blowout. Here's the reason why. Auburn always has a really good squad every year. They're constant. It's all based on coaching staff. Yes, it also falls on players, but it also falls back on coaching staff as well. This coaching staff that Auburn has beaten Alabama more than once.
Holy shit.
So I actually forgot where I left off. I have Auburn beating Mississippi State. That's all I remember right now. UConn, UCF. I'm not even gonna deny UCF a win here. I mean, it's almost a 50-point spread. Come on. Second Big 12 matchup of the weekend. Got Kansas State taking on Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's actually favored by 1.5 points, and I think they actually do pull it off. Oklahoma State pulls off the upset over number 24. Next up, we have Ohio State taking on Nebraska. I'm gonna just take Ohio State because Nebraska, they're complicated. The past couple of years, it's just been an up and down roller coaster. Don't expect them to not pull off an upset, though. Actually, let me rephrase that. Expect them not to pull off an upset because of the fact that their one, Nebraska, who had 8 turnovers against Iowa State. That's permanently scarred on them for the rest of their lives. And then 2, you can't deny Ohio State. You just can't. And then finally, the night game, you have Washington State taking on Utah. Utah with the 5-point upset, 19th ranked in the nation. I'm going to give the Cougars an upset here. Because Washington State, when they played in the Alamo Bowl against Iowa State last year, I know it was a different team, but whoever they were then, I feel like they're going to be that exact team now. I just can't wait to see. I'm just going to call Michigan State winning that game. And then finally, I'm going to go to...
God damn it.
I'm going to get Northern Iowa up here first. Oh, nope.
Where's my phone?
FCS. I gotta find out. You and I. Hang on. Okay. The Northern Iowa Panthers head to Weber State. Head to Ogden, Utah, and take on Weber State. UNI surprised me when they played Iowa State, and then they got the win against the opponent right after that, and then they lost. No, they fell to the opponent that they played the week after, and then they got the win back in the following week. I think they're going to pull off the win against Weber State, because obviously it doesn't say it, but there's actually a ranking system in the FCS, and Northern Iowa is ranked in the top 10 in the FCS. So I got Northern Iowa big time. And then finally, my favorite team, Iowa State. I think this is the only Big 12 game we didn't even cover. I didn't even mention. Oh no, 2 of them I didn't mention. I might as well just mention now. Kansas heads to TCU. I'm gonna say Kansas just remains Kansas, and they fall to TCU. And then the Iowa State Cyclones, who play at 2:30 this weekend, take note to that, head down to Waco to take on the Baylor Bears, who are 3-0, unbeaten no more. Iowa State has the firepower. They even showed it off against Louisiana Monroe last weekend. And I think Iowa State does pull off the win. And that's going to be the video, guys. Sorry it took me so long to make another video. I've been trying to think of video ideas to do with my girlfriend over here. We've been trying to get another Whisper Challenge out, but every time we say we're going to, this one ends up being tired.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get the second Whisper Challenge out. We may have another person to do it with us. We don't know yet. It might just be the 2 of us. So stay tuned to the channel, guys. Make sure you check her out. Just Mystic Blue Queen, be the first thing that pops up. Until next time, guys. Mystic Blue Queen.
Peace out.
And T Money signing off. Have a good weekend, guys. Peace out.